My Texas tornado of a mother, Mama Jean, loved Christmas and picking out just the right gift for everybody. And she loved having all of her boys home for the holidays. So it kind of sucks that she died a week before Christmas 2009. And on the day that she died, I stood next to my older brother, Ronnie. He was in his roofer overalls and his Yamaha motorcycle baseball cap. And we looked at her giant king-size bed, empty, of course. And Ronnie turned to me and he said, "Well, what are they gonna do with her body?" I said, "Well, they're gonna put it in a coffin and bury her." "Well, can't they just stuff her and leave her on the bed so we can look at her and then she won't yell at us anymore?" Ronnie! Now, Mama Jean liked to say that Ronnie marches to the beat of a different drummer. He processes the world with a combination of childlike wonder and the brutal honesty of a drunk. Now, I'm gay, a writer, have lived in New York City most of my life, and I listen to show tunes. Ronnie is a proud redneck, a roofer, has lived down in Beaumont, Texas, where we both grew up his entire life, and worships Neil Diamond. How we came out of the same womb, I'll never know. But of course, the one thing we have in common is the domineering, all-consuming love of Mama Jean. She ruled that house from that king-size bed, usually lying down in a caftan, and one minute she would look up at us and smile and say, "Oh, God, I love you so much, you'll never know." And the next she would yell at us and tell us what we were doing wrong in our lives. But Ronnie was ever devoted to her. She was his best friend, and at least once a day, a week, he would genuflect at the altar of that king-size bed, and he would tell her everything that was going on in his life, anywhere from how his roofing business was doing to the talented dancers at the girly bars in nearby Houston. So the next day, we're at the funeral home and we're viewing the body. When I'm alone with her body, I look down. And you know how people say at funerals, "Oh, your mother looks so natural, so at peace," and it's a lie? Well, in her case, she did look that way. I mean, first of all, she was supine, so I was used to seeing her in that position. But she was wearing a red full-length evening gown. Good gay son that I am, I picked out her outfit. She loved wearing that dress at her Christmas parties. Her hair was coiffed into a perfect raven mane, just like she had it in real life. Her makeup camera ready. But it was the look on her face. She had this slight smile, as if she had just dozed off. And any second, she would open up her eyes and say, "Oh, God, I love you so much," or yell at me for waking her. Instinctively, I pulled out my digital camera. This was before I had an iPhone, and I took photos. I felt kind of weird and creepy about it, like I shouldn't be doing this. And I'm not sure what I was going to do with those photos. But I needed to possess that last image of her. Well, a week later, I left the camera in a rental car. I got the camera back, but the photos had been erased. It was like another loss. So the next year, I'm back down in Beaumont for the Christmas holidays, and the family has decided we're gonna keep it low-key, no gifts, which is too bad because I always knew what to get Ronnie. Anything Neil Diamond related. He never knew what to get me, so he would just give his money to Mama Jean and she would pick out something she knew I liked. But I was kind of worried about Ronnie. Everyone in town was. They kept asking, "How is your brother doing without your mother?" So I take him out to La Cantina Mexican restaurant to check in with him, and we're eating chips and salsa. And I look out the window at the parking lot, and there is Ronnie's ruby red truck. And there's Mama Jean. He has taken her obit photo, blown it up, and laminated it, and slapped it on the door of his truck. There she is with her 1,000-watt smile and her bubble of brunette hair. Wow. And then I thought about my own photographic homage to Mama Jean. I have taken her 1965 wedding photo in which she's sporting a giant bouffant flip, and I have placed it in an antique Art Deco vitrine in my apartment. Same concept, different execution. So I said to Ronnie, I think I'm gonna go out to the cemetery. Have you been out there? He said, yeah, I go all the time, once a week, and I talk to her. I guess in his mind, he had just moved that king-size bed from the house to the graveyard. And I know what she looks like when I'm talking to her. Well, of course you know what she looks like. He said, no. He tells me he saw her in the coffin before they put her in the ground. And he said, I know the look on her face. Ugh, that look. It brought back those photos I had lost. And then I tell Ronnie what I had not told another living soul. I told him about taking those photos and losing them. And he says he did the same thing. He took photos of her in the coffin. Really? Yeah. I was always stunned on the rare occasions that we had the same instincts, but none more than this time. Yeah, I've got them in my glove compartment out in my truck. I'll have copies made for you at Walgreens if you want. He said this as casually as if he was going to offer me a pair of jumper cables. So after dinner, he pulls the photos out of the glove compartment, and I look at them, and it's just as I remembered her. The hair, the makeup, the dress, the look on her face. She looked like my mother. I give him back to Ronnie, and he gets into his truck, and he shuts the door, and there's Mama Jean's photographic ghost smiling back at me. And as he drives away, I think, he doesn't realize. He just gave me the best Christmas gift neither he nor I could have ever imagined. And it was as if Mama Jean picked it out for him one last time. Thank you.